Great to have you with us on the cafe. Now, a few days ago, we were very lucky to catch up with Kiwi Dr. Kim Chilman-Blair and Hare about an amazing new app that has been developed to help diabetes sufferers in New Zealand. Check this out.
Let's start with you first, Kim. Tell us a little bit about your background. So you're a trained doctor, but now you're creating apps.
Yeah. So I started out working as a doctor and then just found that most people had no idea what you were talking about when you were trying to give them a diagnosis. And so it became very clear quite quickly that patients just don't understand the medical speak that doctors talk. And so maybe we could use a new innovative way to talk to patients and explain their diagnoses through storytelling. And so that's what we're doing, particularly for type 2 diabetes, to help patients understand what is type 2 diabetes and how they can get the best control.
I love this story. I'm going to talk more about it, but let's bring Hare into the picture right now. Hare, when did your journey with diabetes start?
In 2007, and that's when I first was diagnosed.
And what made you want to get involved with this app?
Because I wanted to give back. I wanted to give back because I've received so much. From being part of this whole process, it sort of renewed my awareness to my illness, really. And so that's why I sort of wanted to give back to anyone, but mostly to Māori.
It's a great way of helping. And speaking of that, Kim, you've been very successful, obviously, internationally, but this app is aimed at Kiwi and at Māoris in particular, isn't it? Why is that?
Well, type 2 diabetes is unfortunately much higher in the New Zealand Māori population compared with European population, and not only is it twice as high, but also for those once they're diagnosed, it's much less likely to have proper control. So you can have your type 2 diagnosis and you're on treatment, but while 30% of European or Pākehā have this under control, 43% of New Zealand Māori are not under control, and so that sugar is running riot in the body, causing all sorts of problems in the eyes, in the heart.
It can have really devastating consequences, can't it?
Absolutely, and so it's really about trying to use this kind of storytelling to empower and educate people in their own language about what's going on inside their bodies, because you feel fine. That's the problem. If you're in control, you're not in control, you feel the same. So, you know.
Yeah.
And Hare, do you think part of the problem is, because I'm Māori as well, do you think part of the problem is Māori people can be quite shy when it comes to medical issues?
Absolutely, and that shyness, you know, it manifests itself in even worse ill health. And when I've already got a couple of feedbacks from a few Māori people, which has been wonderful, because, you know, the guy, kia ora mea, I'm a Māori too, and I have diabetes. I feel it was worth it, just for that one guy alone. But it's when they see another Māori, you know, what's this fella doing here?
Might pay a bit of attention.
Have a bit of a look, you know. That's the good thing about it.
Right, well, I tell you what, Dr. Kim, I really want to ask you further about the phenomenal and award-winning business success that you've had, and of course, Hare, I'd like to talk to you more about how this app has helped you, and then we could probably help everybody else watching as well. So we'll come back. Right, we are back with Dr. Kim Chilman-Blair, who has created an app about type 2 diabetes specifically for New Zealanders. And we're also joined by Hare, who stars in the app. So this is basically your story, Hare.
Yes, it is. And that's been amazing, really. The good part about it for me is that it's a constant reminder, and it makes you look, with any illness, it doesn't matter whether it's type 2 diabetes or whatever, you're naughty, you know, you're just naughty at times. It's the human factor.
You can't be naughty because you're in an app and there's a clip of you. People are paying attention.
Exactly. So I can't be too naughty with this because it's on my phone. It's there. People, I just open it up and it's there, you know, each time I need it. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So
it really is.
If I can show my friends or anyone really this app, it's brilliant. By the time I'm halfway through, they want to download the app anyway. It's free. And they go and I get texts back and people are saying, hey man, what about this, you know. So that's the good part about it. I'm giving back because I received so much from the diabetic community. And I think a lot of people, you think you're on your own, especially Māori, you know, and Māori are, you know, we're communal people anyway. If we've got another Māori that we can go and talk with.
Okay, so what changes have you made since this app's come on board? And you know, will these sort of, you know, transpond into other people, I would imagine?
Well, you know, it keeps you aware. There's nothing wrong. You don't think there's anything wrong, so you merely have that cake, you know. I'm all right, there's nothing wrong. There's no physical manifestation of the illness until you ignore it.
And then that comes later.
And then, you know, it's subtle, but it happens, and you find your vision's blurred and your toes go black, and you know, they've got to amputate part of your foot.
That's not ideal.
You know, it's all these things that you don't know, that you don't think about. But
the app reminds you.
Reminds you.
Love it.
So Kim, what are you hoping that everyone's going to get from this app?
Well, for me, it's really about the HbA1c. So that is the measure of how well is my diabetes under control. And so normally a blood cell will go around the body and it just will be on its own. And if you've got too much sugar and if your pancreas is failing because you're not dealing with all that sugar, then you'll have all of these glucose molecules sticking to it. And so every time you measure that, it's a snapshot of how well have I looked after my diabetes for the last 3 months. How many sugar molecules are sticking to this red blood cell? And so if we can keep that low, then even though you feel the same as if it's really high, you know that you're looking after your long-term health for yourself and for your whānau. So to me, it's all about know your HbA1c.
Well, Dr. Kim's new app, Type 2 Diabetes Explained, is available for free online. If you or anyone you know has type 2 diabetes, you should definitely check it out. It is available in both English and also Te Reo as well. Oh, thank you so much for coming in, Dr. Kim Hare. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Isn't that sensational?